What is up, boys and girls? We're taking a look at the new Morph EQ by Minimal Audio. So this is a really sweet plugin that I've been toying around with for the past few hours today. If you've ever used an EMU sampler, you know Z-plane filters are legendary. They can help add a lot of movement to things like pads, drums, and you can just get a lot of wacky effects in here. And this is kind of more or less what Morph EQ is. It allows you to smoothly morph between different filter types, which create all sorts of really cool effects. And we're going to show how you can use this, but also show why this is a little bit different from just like a standard filter or a auto filter in Bitwig or something. So I have the tool open now. Let's actually just start with the preset here. So I'm going to go into the morphing presets, and this probably looks crazy here. This looks like an EQ here, but really what I have going on are, in this preset, I have 4 different filters set up: low shelf, a high pass, and a low pass. And each filter has been mapped to morph across different points. So when we combine those 4 different filters and use this morph knob here, watch as I turn this up, you can see each filter morphing around, right? Which is going to create some funky effects. So if I hold a chord, pretty wacky, right? So you can probably already tell how this is different from a standard filter. And one way I can illustrate this is just start with a new blank patch here, and I'll just double click to add a new filter. And then I can change the filter type here. So all your standard filter types, and I could do a low pass, for example. This is a very basic example, right? And what I could do is, sure, I could create like a low pass filter sweep there, but you're not doing the plugin justice if that's all you want to do, right? So I'll use the example here. If I pull in a Bitwig filter, I could do the same thing. So I have a low pass here. I could just like add an LFO on this, and this would be similar to the auto filter in Ableton. I can add an LFO, turn off the polarity, and just have it do the same sweep. Right? That's no different. So where this thing shines are those complex, those complex modulations and morphings you're doing of the filters that just sound so amazing. So what I can do, so I have this single filter type here, and I can draw a path for this filter to modulate through. So for example, if I go to the outer shell here, I can drag out and say I want this to go up, then I want it to go all the way out, and I want it to come down, and then I can have it return home. So if I move, right? And that's kind of the gist of it. So that is one filter. I could add another filter on here, and I could change this, or I could keep it as a low pass. I can make it, I don't know, a band pass. And then I could do a similar thing here and have this one move along a path as well. So now both will modulate. Right, and that's kind of the gist of it. And you have some other controls in here, so you can do things like shift these out, pinch it to mess with the Q, spread it out so you get a little bit of a, I guess phase would be the correct term for that. Scale it up and down. You have a built-in limiter in here as well. Different limiter types. So if I hover over down here in the bottom right, I can have no limiter, some gentle limiting with a little bit of saturation, as well as some soft clipping based limiting. So it's kind of the gist of it. And if we were to just, let's go into one of these presets here. Let's get something already made. That's pretty wacky. I like that. So what I would want to do is I'd want to modulate this morph knob here. And this is the reason why Bitwig is awesome. Obviously, I can come down to the device chain here and use whatever modulator type I want. So if I just wanted an LFO here, if I wiggle the morph knob here, it shows up at the top in the device chain. And then I can map this LFO to morph through that. So if I expand this, I can slow it way down. And then let's give it a go. Let's try some of these other ones out and see what we get. Let's send that through another delay. Pretty cool stuff. And so let's run this through some different patches, just see what we get here. Yeah, this thing's sweet. You could spend a lot of time with this, just messing around and getting some good sounds. I think it's definitely something where the more subtle, the slower you modulate and morph, the better. This is a really unique tool. So if you're looking to do pretty complex filter morphing, this is probably one of the best options out there. I haven't seen anything else that even comes close to this. Now let's go ahead and just chuck some other shit through here for fun. So let's go in and get a drum break and just see what we can get going on. So I'm going to go into my samples here. Let's go into a little jungle warfare. Let's just get a nice loop. All right, let's throw that Morph EQ on. Let's see what we get. That's cool shit, man. Definitely go check it out. I think it was $50. Again, minimal audio, Morph EQ. Really sweet plugin. It's not too often you see something really cool and what I'd consider pretty unique come out like that. So if you're making drum and bass or really anything kind of in that same realm, sounds like it'd be great on pads, drum breaks. You could get some really creative stuff in there. So go check it out. Peace out.